And welcome to our bonus features segment. First thing we're looking at is the likely places for GPS errors. Of course, our regular viewers are aware that they're most likely to happen around the equator at noon. We've got some anomalies happening here over the Atlantic Ocean and over Central Africa, and they are basically a low number of electron in terms of anomalies. So a little bit better GPS performance over places like the Indian Ocean, Africa, and the Central Atlantic, especially the Central Eastern Atlantic. Total electron content forecast, the CTIPE, it stands for coupled thermosphere, ionosphere, plasmasphere electrodynamics. And what you're looking at there is the free electrons in between your GPS satellite located about 12,500 miles of altitude and your handset. Depending on how many electrons your GPS satellite has to communicate through, you could have errors of thousands of miles, again, especially around the equator at noon. No charging hazards at the moment. That's a good thing for all of you looking at various different satellite data on the internet. Here's the one-year chart of the relativistic electrons from Solon.info to put that in context. And here's the 3-day chart. The GOES 16 and GOES 17, they attempt to measure the electron flux at the F layer. And we're seeing fairly normal curves here. Here's the forecast model expecting a small uptick. I would say tomorrow we're going to see a little bit higher levels than this. That's just my guess. I think NOAA's going to be off a little bit. We're going to see higher levels of electron flux tomorrow, not slightly lower levels. Next, we'll show you an animation of the F ionosphere. And the F ionosphere is located at about 300 kilometers of altitude. Here's the vibrational frequency therein. There's a lot of vibration going on above your head. Again, especially around the equator at noon. We're seeing some anomalies here. We'll show you the anomalygram next after this plays through. So here's the anomalygram showing anomaly in megahertz from the 30-day median. We decided to bring up the 30-day median. If you want to play with this data set yourself, it's part of the Australian Government Bureau of Meteorology. You can easily look that up. And you can look at it in different time frequencies and different maps showing anomaly from the 7-day median and so on. You can see some low frequency anomalies here once again like yesterday over the South Atlantic, the southern portion of South America. Keep in mind, folks, the weakest part of Earth's magnetosphere is right here. It's called the South Atlantic anomaly, maybe to be renamed the South American anomaly since it's right over the middle of the southern part of the continent. Anyway, here's your latest image, 12:30 Universal Time ionogram, 12:30 Universal Time anomalygram. Some high-frequency anomalies happening here in Central Eastern Africa. Continuing on, to say Universum Liberate. If you haven't checked out the merch, you can find links below the video to it, as well as on the homepage at smashamash.com. More on that in a minute. We've got everything from duvet covers to comforters to shower curtains, tapestries, posters, greeting cards, art prints, even iPad cases. Also a mini skirt with the motto of the Galactic Federation Special Forces, Universum Liberate. To quote Rush, if I could wave my magic wand, I'd set everybody free, even Vladimir Putin. So shout out to all of our viewers who've picked up merch. This is definitely on our short list of gear to pick up this summer. The Flaming Shield of the Galactic Federation Special Forces. Universum Liberate, because all souls yearn to be free. Don't forget to press like and subscribe if you enjoy the content. The Smash of Hazard appreciate that. Thanks to all of our subscribers who've put up with the pathetic censorship on YouTube. It's happened again recently, which is why we live streamed one of our space weather videos today to twitch.tv/smashamash. And welcome to the Neo Renaissance. Did you know we're in the process of writing a publication plausibly explaining the mechanism underlying the solar polar field and sunspot cycles? Thanks to everybody who's been supporting us over the last 4+ years. Especially thanks to the Smash team. We replaced Patreon with a superior subscription services site, our own. We built it from scratch at smashamash.com/smashteam. Consider joining at the gold or silver level if you'd like to support the channel and see the content continue to exist and remain publicly visible. Here come additional bonus features. We've got the Cerro Tololo, Chile ground-based solar observatory. showing quite a few filaments. You can see filaments down here in the southwest, filaments in the northwest, filaments in the northeast, and some filaments in the southeast. Lots of filaments in the earthly zone. Don't be surprised to see a coronal mass ejection. Will we see sunspots rise? Let us know in the comments what you think. Feel free to pause the video. Before we show you the latest intensitygram and latest colorized magnetogram, we show that refresh on purpose. So there's 2954, that's this one, and 2955, which looks like it's degrading a little bit. We can see some light bridges there going across the dark umbra. Oh, we've got a new sunspot up there. So at a much more polar latitude, we've got some new umbrae growing up there. And I think this is actually a sunspot too. So those may get names. As far as this area down here, I do see a small umbra right there. So that could get named if it retains that for 12 hours or more. Here are the fields with this massive plage that's been rising and producing some flares. See our previous space weather videos for details on that. Here are the fields of these other regions. This one up here looks like it's already a beta class sunspot. If it, again, it needs to remain there for about 12 hours to get a name. So the uptick in the radio flux here accompanied by some new sunspots. There are the fields of 2954 and 2955. Pretty unremarkable there as far as those fields go. They are both alpha class sunspots at the moment. Next, the NASA GOES 16 SUVI imagery. This is one of the best ones that you can just let sit on your computer all day. It auto-refreshes. And we've regularly streamed this live to our Twitch channel. We even streamed one of our daily space weather videos today because YouTube's pathetic censorship has caused us to reduce the exclusivity of YouTube as a place in which to watch our content. Anyway, obviously quite a bit of activity kicking off down here. Barely a sunspot though, just a large active region. So here's a close-up of it. We've slowed this down. It's not because the sun's rotating more slowly or any kind of catastrophic disaster is happening in space that's going to kill you. We just reduced it to 10 frames per second instead of 30, which is our normal frames per second that we use. Our normal speed of imagery, it's still 24 hours. Here's a close-up of sunspot 2954 and 2955 and these new sunspots. These new groups up here to the northeast of those large sunspot groups. And lastly, we'll show this composite to close things out. Once again, thanks everybody for tuning into the Daily Space Weather, and may that solar wind be at your back.